Are you ready?
I'm ready.
Okay. Welcome to Nursing Studios, where we talk all things life, nursing, and everything in between. Today we've got Bana Mireis with us, a student nurse with stories to tell. Bana, let's start simple. Who am I? My name is Bana. I'm a third-year student nurse who is on the same cohort as Silvana, and I'm literally about to graduate in my last 2 weeks, and I'm so happy. So yeah, that's me. And I'm here now.
Welcome.
Welcome. Yeah.
At least we're unpaid but having fun.
We're having fun at least, yeah. You need to have fun in this life.
That's true. And Bana,
Yes.
this was such a great introduction.
Yeah.
Thank you so much for introducing you.
Introducing myself.
Me, myself, and I.
Me, myself, and I.
Have you seen that? I think it's Snoop Dogg. Thanks. Before any of anything, I want to thank me. Thank
I've
me
seen
for
that.
believing in me.
I've seen
Thanking
that.
me for.
That's us.
That's us.
That's us.
I was like, that's a real business there. Right. So tell us, what's your journey been so far?
So, like, my journey so far, it's had its ups, it's had its downs, like, to be honest. I'm just very relieved that I'm actually finishing now. We've literally only got 2 weeks left until we finish. But like, it's been a good experience. Primarily in my placements, I've learned so much, and I've like communicated with so many different people from different backgrounds. It's a very like nursing is very sociable, so I've socialized with a lot of people, and it's just like one of the main things nursing has helped me, or my journey in nursing has helped me, is to improve my confidence. Like I feel so much more confident now, so I'm very like happy with my progress so far. So yeah.
So I received like the other day, I don't receive many texts about stuff.
Yeah.
But I received like questions about how did you find your nursing? How did you find your job? How did you find how much you get paid in the UK? And so many other questions. And I would like you to share your journey, because I think it's very inspirational. So Bana here, she's been working so much. Correct me if I'm wrong, but I think you worked as a phlebotomist, as a porter, as a healthcare support worker,
Yeah.
and as a student nurse, you kind of working is unpaid,
Yeah.
but you are working as well. So tell us a little bit, how was all these jobs? How did you find them?
Yeah. So when I first started my nursing, I was working in a clinic in it was just a little clinic. I was about to say the location. But I was working in a little clinic, and that clinic ended up closing down. So I applied to my local hospital to work as a porter, which I did for about a year. I was only on the bank, so I was doing like as and when I could, and it was something very different to what I was familiar with. Like, and you don't get a lot of like young girls in that kind of profession either. So it was something very different, and like sometimes I got a bit of like unfairness because I was different to what they expected. Like when you think of porters, you think of like these big men like pushing these beds around, but actually like there's a lot of women in the profession as well.
Is it?
Yeah, there's actually quite a few. But yeah, I actually really enjoyed it, to be honest with you. I really liked it, and you learn so much about the hospital, like the kind of like underworks of the hospital, the things that happen that you don't realize how the hospital runs.
Yeah.
You learn a lot more about that, and you also learn a lot of ghost stories as well. Like you hear about a lot of those. So I was doing that.
But as a porter,
Yeah.
this is something I asked. Underline question. She used to transport as a porter.
Oh yeah. So
like dead people to the mortuary.
yeah, so the porters will transport the bodies to the mortuary, which a lot of people find uncomfortable to do, like rightfully, like I get that. Personally, I don't find it uncomfortable, but a lot of people do. And you just, as long as you're respectful, you do your job in a respectful way. But
You don't think that's scary?
I mean, like at night it's freaky. I would say at night mainly. In the day there's like there's workers in the
Yeah,
mortuary, but
yeah.
at night everything is locked up and the lights are turned off. Different hospitals work differently, but in my hospital that's what it was like. Everything was like locked up. So yeah, and you would have to unlock everything, turn on the lights, and then you would have to lock up after yourself. So it is a bit creepy, and some people like don't want to do it at all, which I fully get. But I don't know why I'm just not that freaked out. But there's a lot of ghost stories, primarily about the mortuary. A lot of like people told me different stories, and I was like, oh, but I never saw anything. So yeah, so I did portering for about a year. I worked as a HCA as well. I worked in the hospital and I also worked in a care home as well. So I've done a bit of both. And they are quite different, in all honesty. There is differences. There's different policies. You work differently, but it's a good thing to have. Like skills, HCA skills are fundamental to nursing. So you do need to like. I would say every nurse should work as a HCA. And then I also did. I only did it for a short while, but I did phlebotomy, which helped me to practice venipuncture quite well.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that was really useful, but I only did it for a little bit, in all honesty. I'll be honest about that one. But yeah, that's me. So I've just been from job to job throughout my career. So yeah. But I think working is important, especially in nursing. Like, you don't get paid for when you work on placement. So I think it's important to have something there. Even if it's just like bank you do once a week, you need
Yeah.
something to help you keep going. And it does like take your mind off of it as well, doing something different. I know some people like to work in a cafe or like to do something a bit different to nursing, which is also fair. You should do that if that's what makes you happy. But yeah, that's me.
So how did you find your finances and everything? Just like, basic. Just so
Like,
people know how, because it's quite difficult. Rent in UK is, in certain places like London, Cambridge, Oxford, is very expensive.
yeah,
And I won't say that the location, but here where we are is very expensive.
it
How did
is.
you deal with an expensive location, paying like the bills, paying the rent,
Yeah.
the transport? How did you get A to E, A to B? Sometimes it's A to E for you, isn't it?
Yeah, the thing is, like, you need to like manage your finances quite well, especially when you're in a profession where you're not being paid for the majority of work that you're doing. So you just need to keep an eye on your finances, which can be difficult for a lot of people when they come to uni, because for a lot of people it's their first time just doing their finances more independently. So I think like at least just having a stable income whilst you're studying is so important.
So
And just like picking up shifts where you can, even if they're short shifts, just do what you can to make some money to keep yourself going, because at the end of the day, like even when you finish uni, you're still going to have to manage your finances somehow. So it's good to learn at this point, like, have your fun, pay for things that you want, but at the same time, maybe like, I know when I first started uni, what I would do is I would like make it so that every month I would buy something for myself, but it would be like
yeah,
one thing, like a new shirt or a new skirt or whatever it was, until I could like manage my finances a bit better. If that makes sense.
yeah.
Yeah.
Because here in UK, England, we're quite privileged, I would say, because student nurses, we're given opportunities in the hospitals we're working on,
Yeah.
so we can work bank. So bank is like you can pick and choose. You can't choose the area. Well, sometimes you can choose
Yeah,
the
you
area.
can
So
sometimes.
you can pick and choose when you want to work, how many hours you want to work, and basically is weekly pay as well. I don't know about your trust, but in my trust is like
You
that.
can pick, actually. You can do monthly or weekly, but it's a 0 hour contract, so you don't have to. You work 0 hours a week if you want to, or you can work up to. I think it's like, I don't know how many. Some places you can work up to 48 hours a week. Some places it's a bit less, and you have to sign like an additional contract. Just depends really, but I would recommend it to anyone who is pursuing nursing. Like, get on the bank, start that.
Yeah, so
In
that
God.
makes it easier for you to deal with your finances.
Definitely.
Yeah, so that's how we did it
That's what
in
we did.
regards to finances and that.
Yeah.
um what surprised you the most about becoming a nurse?
Um, I think it's like the level of responsibility. You don't actually realize it until you get in there. Especially like in your third year, you have a lot more responsibility and you work a lot more independently. You're still under supervision majority of the time, but a lot of the time you do take on more, and it's just that level of responsibility. Like there's a lot under your basically under your pin. So you just need to be very cautious by the things that you do because it's very easy to make a mistake. And then once you've made that mistake, you can't take that back. So that is what surprised me the most, like about nursing, level of responsibility. Like from afar, it looks, everyone knows it's difficult, but you do not see how much, like, outside perspectives of nursing, they know that we've got a lot of responsibility, but I don't think they understand the level of responsibility. I don't know, that's what surprised me. Just like how much responsibility. I think I've just repeated that several times, but
No, it's
that's how
fine.
shocked
It's
I
a
am.
lot. It's a lot.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it is a lot. You have a lot under your pin, and
Because your mistakes aren't just mistakes.
yeah, that's someone's life. That could influence their life in so many different ways. So you need to be so careful. But like that can come on quite badly when you've got more patients. Like sometimes places are understaffed, so nurses take more patients. That's more responsibility and more room for error because you've got more patients. You're working faster, or you're trying to work faster, and you can make a mistake then. So I don't know, just making a healthy balance between that and trying to manage your workload well is really important,
Yeah.
especially time management as well, because you don't realize like how quickly the time goes when you're busy and how much you actually need to do.
Could you tell us a little bit of a moment that made you laugh during placement?
Moment that made me laugh, actually quite recently. It's just like sometimes some things that patients come out with, like they'll say like the most random things, or they'll, especially the ones that are confused. I'm like, it's bad, it's not good that they're confused, but sometimes they say things that are quite funny. Even like dementia, people with dementia sometimes come out with like really weird stuff that just makes you laugh. Sometimes you just gotta laugh at it.
Because you need to have a good sense of humor.
You need to have a good sense of humor.
Otherwise, don't come in this job.
Yeah, and then like moments that made me laugh. I've had a lot of moments with like colleagues where I've just cracked a joke, or they've cracked a joke, and that's just made it, like, it's just made the atmosphere really nice, and we've just had a laugh about it. So
Yeah.
I actually have a lot of laughs at work, to be honest.
Me too. It's quite funny
Yeah,
actually.
it's quite funny.
It's not just tragedy.
Yeah.
So I have a really good one. It was a dementia patient in the middle of a night shift. So it was 3 a.m. It was a little bit of a drama. So behind the story was he was left by his woman, his wife, that he never accepted. And after he got dementia, she came to visit him. But it was like they're still friends, but you know. So this man in the middle of the night was wandering around. Some patients did just do that. So this man was wandering, and at the end of this corridor, on this ward he was in, there was a pantry, a kitchen. So obviously, I don't know how it is in your hospital, but in our hospital, we have these trolleys,
Yeah.
right, with hot drinks and meals and everything, a little bit of snacks, a little bit of everything. So this man, honestly, he believed he's found the jackpot. So the door was unlocked, the kitchen was open, and he was like, Jane! You know, screaming in 3 a.m. Jane, come here, I found free food! And he was like, is this free hot drinks? And I said, yeah, would you like a tea? Would you like a coffee? And he was like, Jane, come here, quick! They're giving free drinks and snacks! Honestly, he was so excited, but Jane obviously wasn't there.
Yeah.
So honestly, this man cracked me up. I ended up doing a few drinks for him, and then made him feel tired, you know, to ask for Jane to come back, which is quite sad at the end. But you know, at that moment, he was like he was thrilled that he's found a place with free drinks.
Yeah.
He was like, really, for free? And I said, yeah, for free. Would you like anything? And he was like, no money. I don't have any money. And I said, no problem. It was so funny. So
That just reminded me actually of, this is very different, but it just reminded me of something. I actually had a patient in his 90s, and I was talking to him and I was asking him we have to do like admission paperwork, so we have to ask them about their social history. And I was asking him, who do you live with? And he was like, I live with my girlfriend. And then he giggled. And like, I think it's just me, like my perspective of the elderly, but I've never come across someone at that age who's got a girlfriend. You know, it's just something quite unexpected, you know. It made me laugh so much. I found it so funny, which is a bit mean, but it is what it is.
How do you unwind after a tough day on the ward?
So, for me, where I work is very far from where I live. So the commute back helps me unwind. Like, I find it so peaceful to literally just put in my headphones and like half of the way I walk, and I get a train and then I get a bus. So it's like a really long commute. So I just find it really relaxing. I'm in my own world with my own thoughts, with my music playing. I'm chill. I'm happy. And then when I get home, usually I'll have a nice shower and then I'll like go on my phone a bit before bed. I get home quite late, so I don't have a lot of time to do a lot, but if I had more time, I would probably like watch a show or something, just get my mind out of like my mind frame when I'm at work. Like, do something that you enjoy when you get home, even if it's just watching an episode of your favorite show. Like, do something like that. That helps me unwind.
That's so true.
So
right, so this episode is going to be slightly shorter. So we've reached to the final part of our episode, which is quick fire round. Fast, fun, and chill. Right, Bana?
right, ready.
It's fire round time. No thinking too hard. Just say the first thing that comes to your mind.
Okay.
Ready?
Ready.
Steady?
Steady, go!
Go! Coffee or sleep in?
Coffee.
Favorite meal after placement?
Noodles.
One thing you can't leave the house without?
My keys. What?
I'm so sorry. Keys.
Keys.
Go to comfort show or movie?
The Walking Dead.
A song that always lifts your mood?
There's something that...
Type of song?
Pop.
Right.
Pop.
Early mornings or late nights?
Late nights.
Instagram, TikTok, or real life?
Instagram. Oh, real life. No, I mean real life, but yeah.
Funniest thing a patient has ever said to you?
Funniest thing.
I know. Would you marry me?
Will you marry me? Are you married? Are you married a lot? No, I'm not married. I'm young. I'm not married. Stop.
Leave me alone.
Leave me alone.
Ah! I'm gonna scream so loud. Ah! Funniest thing. One word to describe your nursing journey so far.
Enlightening.
If you could time travel,
Yeah.
would you go to the past or the future?
To the future.
Excellent. Thank you.
Perfect. 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 Perfect.
Perfect. That was such a vibe. Thank you so much, Bana,
You're welcome.
for sharing your story, laughs, and honesty. If you're student nurse out there listening, know that you're not alone. And we did a special podcast for student nurses. So please go see the top tips of both of us. Very, very experienced student nurses. So please, this is our best top tips. Obviously, if you come across of any other ones that could enlighten student nurses, please do comment and please share and subscribe. Please, thank you so much.
Subscribe, please. Please.
That was Nursing Studio, and I'll see you on the next podcast.
Bye. Bye.